A day I will never forget. It was a quiet Saturday morning. The sun was rising slowly, painting the sky with orange and gold. I thought it would be just a normal day, but I never knew my life was about to change forever. I woke up to the sound of heavy rain hitting the roof. The wind was strong, and the trees outside were shaking like they were afraid. I sat on my bed, listening to the storm, not knowing that something unforgettable was coming my way. I dressed up slowly, thinking of how the day would go. My mother had traveled 2 days earlier, and the house felt empty without her. I decided to visit the market to buy a few things. Even though it was raining, I forced myself to go out. The road was muddy. People were running for shelter. Some cars splashed water on the ground as they passed. When I got to the market, something felt strange. The noise was different. People were not shouting prices the way they usually did. Everyone looked worried and confused. Then I heard it, a loud cry from the far end of the market. Someone screamed, "Help! Help!" People started running. My heart started beating fast. I didn't know what was happening, but something pulled me toward the crowd. When I reached the place, I saw a little boy lying on the floor. He was about 7 years old. "Where is your mother?" someone asked him. The boy only cried harder. Something inside me broke. I bent down beside him and asked softly, "What happened to you?" He wiped his eyes and stammered, "Auntie, I can't find my mummy. She was just here. I don't know where she went." My heart tightened immediately. In a big market as noisy and crowded as this, a child could easily get lost. I knew I had to help. "Don't worry," I said softly. "We will find your mummy, okay? You're safe with me." The boy held my hand tightly as if I was the only safe thing left in the world at that moment. I could feel how scared he was. We began walking through the market slowly. I didn't want to rush because the boy was already panicked. I asked him to describe what his mother was wearing. He told me she wore a bright wrapper and carried a basket. That was something we could look for. At every corner, we stopped and asked people if they had seen any woman looking for her lost child. Many people shook their heads, but some tried to help by pointing us toward the other side of the market. The more we walked, the more the boy began to worry again. He kept saying, "What if I never find her?" I squeezed his hand gently and said, "You will. She is looking for you too." We moved from stall to stall, from one section to another, trying to check every place she might be. I held the child's hand firmly. The market was too crowded, and I didn't want the child to get lost again. We asked anyone who looked like they might have seen something. "Please, did you see a woman wearing this kind of dress?" I asked several people. Some traders paused to think. Some shook their heads. Others pointed in different directions. The child's grip tightened every time we received no answer. It felt like the child was holding on to the only hope left. We kept walking. We crossed through the fruit section where the scent of oranges and pineapples filled the air. We passed the clothing section where loud music was playing from speakers. We squeezed through the dried fish area where the smell was strong and the space was tight. Everywhere we went, I kept reassuring the child, "Don't worry, we will find her. Just stay close." After a long search, we reached a busy corner where many people gathered. There was a man making announcements through a megaphone, helping lost people find their families. Without wasting time, I took the child straight to the man. "Please help," I said. "This child has lost the mother." The man immediately raised the child up so the face could be seen by as many people as possible. Then he spoke loudly into the megaphone. "Attention please. A child is here looking for the mother. If you are missing your child, come to the announcement stand. A child wearing a yellow shirt is here. Please come and identify your child." The child held onto my arm tightly and looked around with wide, hopeful eyes. We waited. 1 minute, 2 minutes. The crowd kept moving, but no one came. The child's lips started shaking again. Tears began forming in those small eyes, and the fear returned. I knelt beside the child and said in a calm voice, "We will find her," I kept saying. "Just stay strong." We walked to the middle part of the market where the noise was loudest. I lifted him up so he could see over the crowd. His eyes scanned every face, hoping to find the one he knew best. But still, nothing. At that moment, I decided to try a different method. I went to the market security post. I explained the situation, and one of the officers used a megaphone to announce, "A small boy has been found. If you are looking for your child, please come to the security post." Meanwhile, I kept holding the boy's hand. I could feel how scared he was. His little fingers were gripping mine tightly, as if I was the only safe place he had in the world. I told him stories to keep him calm. I asked him about his favorite food, his favorite color, and the things he liked to play with at home. He started talking little by little, and his tears stopped. But any time he heard the sound of the megaphone, he quickly looked around, hoping his mother would appear. Minutes passed, then 20 minutes, then 30. Still nothing. Suddenly, as we were about to check the vegetable area again, we heard loud footsteps running towards us. A woman, breathing fast and crying heavily, came rushing to the security post. The moment the boy saw her, he shouted, "Mummy," and ran into her arms. The mother dropped to her knees and hugged him so tightly as if she never wanted to let him go again. Tears were flowing down her face. She kept thanking me again and again. "Thank you so much. I really appreciate. I have been looking everywhere. I thought something bad happened. Thank you." I smiled because seeing him together again was all the thanks I needed. The boy turned to me and gave me a small hug before leaving with his mother. Even though they walked away, he kept looking back at me with a small smile. As I walked out of the market that day, something changed in me. I came to buy food, but I left with a lesson. That day taught me that sometimes, we don't plan to be someone's helper, but life brings us the moment. And when we choose to do the right thing, it becomes a memory that stays forever. As I finally stepped out of the busy market that day, I looked back one more time. The noise was still loud, traders were still calling customers, and people were still rushing up and down. But inside me, everything felt calm. I realized that I didn't just help a lost child, I helped a family find peace again. That day taught me that even the smallest act of kindness can change someone's whole world. I didn't know the boy before, and he didn't know me. But for a moment, life connected our paths, and I was able to bring hope to him and his mother when they needed it most. Since that day, anytime I enter a crowded place, I remember his little hands holding mine, his scared eyes searching for safety, and the joy on his face when he finally found his mother. It reminds me that being kind doesn't cost anything, yet it leaves a memory that lasts forever. Truly, it was a day I will never forget, a day that showed me the power of compassion. A day that reminded me that helping others is one of the greatest gifts we can give, a day that will always remain in my heart.